Let's talk about Tommy Dreamer being suspended by Impact Wrestling. So I'm sure you're all aware of what has gone down this week. The Dark Side of the Ring episode about the plane ride from hell causing a huge amount of controversy. And one man who has been in the centre of all this controversy, perhaps even more so in a lot of people's eyes than Ric Flair, is Tommy Dreamer, who made some comments about Ric Flair, and it was all very much like, well, that's Ric Flair for you, boys will be boys. It was a very foolish thing to say. Anyway, PW Insider released a report late last night that Impact Wrestling has now suspended Tommy Dreamer because of those comments. Ed Norholm issuing an email to the company's roster and staff. In the email, he stated that the company was made aware of the comments Dreamer made on the episode and that they were out of line with their core values as a company. And he has been asked to leave effective immediately, suspended indefinitely. So we don't know whether he will be back, whether he won't be back. I can understand why they would do this because they're a business, and I think having somebody on your roster and featuring them prominently on TV when they've made comments like that may draw negative attention to the company. One baffling thing, and I touched on it a little bit earlier, is that I'm seeing a lot more criticism toward Tommy Dreamer than I am Ric Flair, who did this stuff. And I'm not excusing Tommy in any way, but it's odd that people have jumped on Tommy. Maybe it's because we've known that Ric Flair is sort of engaged in some pretty dodgy behaviour in the past, whereas Tommy Dreamer has mostly been pretty well liked in the wrestling community. So it was a bit more shocking hearing him say this stuff. But he's had it really hard, but understandably so. I think the comments were really daft.
Yeah, it sort of felt like he was a bit out of touch, especially with sort of how things have gone.
The comments, he made the comparisons like, well, people are going to be offended about everything nowadays and woke culture and all that. And then he said, well, I've got two ponytails. And he's comparing that to a man exposing himself and asking a flight attendant to touch it. It was a foolish thing to say, did not come across well. Various people didn't come across well in that. Mike Chioda, I didn't think he was laughing constantly during the thing.
It was a bit weird.
It was weird. I think JR did an all right job on there. Obviously, it's a very difficult thing to talk about anyway, but the tone was completely wrong. Ric Flair hasn't got away with it, by the way. He has, first of all, he's had an advertising campaign paused. So the Car Shield commercial, which I'm sure you've seen on TV if you're in the US, it's all over the place. They have paused that commercial campaign. They released a statement to PW Insider. We take these matters very seriously. As of right now, we're pausing the campaign and we will do our due diligence. There's no timetable for the spots to return, and the commercial will soon disappear pending additional investigation and decisions. Once again, it makes sense, doesn't it? Given everything that people are saying about Ric Flair, you don't want that man right now associated with your company, especially a company as massive as that.